This week on Project UX, we open up the vault to take a look at the user experience of startup Groovy, a music-making app for the iPhone and iPad. The UXperts dive into the topic of testing early and often when you're creating a startup app from the ground up, and making sure that the options you give the user align with their expectations and the needs, especially ones of your early adopters. There's a wide range of topics covered under this very subject within this episode, so watch, let us know what you think, and enjoy.
So Groovy is a platform for crowdsourced music making and talent discovery, with the premise that there's a lot more musical talent out there in the world than what we're hearing on the radio today. So we're creating an app platform with a contest in it that'll allow musicians to create new music, and the community votes on the best content at which we publish and sell on iTunes, and all the artists who participate get a revenue share of the proceeds that come from those sales. So we are still building our software, right? And I want to show you some wireframes of an alpha version that we are about to put out that'll allow musicians to record themselves playing a song, an original song that we're about to put out. In the beginning, we're going to have just one song for our alpha version. It's called Roots. You will tell the app what part do you want to perform. You want to do the vocals or the drums or whatever. So if you're doing the lead melody, you could be doing that with a keyboard, or you could be doing that with electric guitar, acoustic guitar, whatever. Once you enter the studio, you're able to see a level, a peak meter here over here on the right, where you can adjust the gain, because sound recording quality is the most important aspect here. We're creating music. And there's some options here that allow you to, you can see the lyrics or chord progressions. If you want to hear different parts in your headphones or not, you can do that with or without a click track. But the main thing here is the app is acting as a portable recording studio, right? So just like in the studio, you're hearing the backing tracks in your headphones, and the microphone is picking up your performance. We're also picking up the video, and that's why you see the video covering the entire screen here. Once you've recorded your part, you're able to easily save that, and it gets uploaded to our platform. And it becomes available for other people to create mixes with the platform. So at the top here, you see all the parts of the song, right? The bass part, the vocals, the drums, guitar, etc. And as you add a part, at the bottom here, you're going to see all of the options that are available to you, right? So as I see Cindy Smith here on the drums, I can tap on her, drag her face onto the canvas, and now I'm listening to her drum part with all the other parts. So once you have a part, you can tweak it, you can set its level, you can set its panning, its effects, reverb, delay, of course, etc. To get the sound that's perfect for that part. Once you're done and you have all the parts set and all the levels just like you like, you then save that, you publish that mix to the cloud. Those are the two main flows that we have. We have recording and we have the mixing interface.
So can you speak to recording devices? She has headphones, she also has an external microphone. What is she plugging both of those things into?
Right, so it turns out if you go to the Apple Store, there's a ton of accessories in the back corner for musicians, right? There's an iRig, which a lot of guitar players use, that has an interface that goes one into your iPhone or iPad, another into your, your guitar, electric or acoustic. Same thing with microphones. You can find ready to plug in microphones that'll go right into your device, or interfaces that'll take a higher end microphone.
So have you done any tests on the audio for the lower end, those who don't have professional or prosumer equipment?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's key, right? We can't really be creating music that we expect to sell, right, on digital music channels without that. So the worst is just if you hold up your iPhone, your iPad, or your Android, and just use the open room, the built-in mic in the room, something like this, terrible reverb, it's not good sound. So at the very least, we want you to plug in the headset that comes with it, right? With a microphone that's a couple inches from your mouth, turns out that audio is pretty good. As long as it's not clipping, and we'll show you that little meter there, and if it's clipping, say, hey, might want to turn it around or turn it off or back off a little bit. So we're going to do everything we can to help even the amateur get good sound, because that's paramount. We can't do anything else unless we get good audio.
So is this meant for the iPad or iPhone?
Both. And we're leading with iOS, but Android will come afterwards.
So, I mean, this looks really early, right? And almost it's always good to test early and often and get feedback as soon as you can, but I would say it's really early, and you're trying to add a lot of fidelity to make it look real, but the interaction patterns I don't even think would work, right, if you actually shrunk this down to a phone, right? Yeah. And I feel like you're missing whole pieces of functionality, right, that you're kind of glossing over, which is fine for like a sales or an educational kind of, yeah, such as this, but if you want to test the functionality, you really have to go a little deeper, and I think have that in there.
Right, right. So what we have is, we have that on our iPad app. The iPhone, and you're completely right, with a 16:9 aspect ratio, it's a lot more challenging with, how do you orient the tiles, how many tiles, and all those type of things.
So just from, if you could flip back to the options on the recording piece.
Yes.
This kind of speaks to an opportunity to kind of dig in with your user right here. You said that this may be, a junior high student who wants to get out there, who wants to get known and get on there. Are all of these things, are they going to know what these are and if these are going to be meaningful to them? Without any kind of context here that's led me to helping understand what this is, this could become a very confusing screen for someone who's very new to it. So if you're going after that market, I would definitely revisit some of these options dialogues, because this is going to speak more to the experienced person who's probably got an idea of what they're looking for, and not so much to the newbie.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
You have a wide range of personas or different types of people, right?
We do. So, I mean, American Idol's kind of a good example in that 100,000 kids come into the arena and audition, right? And they're all over the place in terms of their age and experience and talent. Some of them are really good and some of them are just enthusiastic, right? We kind of want that same range coming to our app. So the ones who don't, we're going to do everything we can, including some tutorial videos, right, to help them to just get the app, a plug-in, and get the best accessories for it. But you're right. I mean, we can't turn you into an audio engineer, right, through our app. We're going to take every effort we can to simplify it using normal English, not necessarily audio jargon, to help people understand. Hopefully these parts that we're seeing here, it makes sense that you can hear the vocals, the drums, and those things make sense. But your point is well taken that given the broad range, this is not a specialty app. We're going to have that challenge of, not making it too dumb for the pro and not making it too complex for the newbie. Well,
and from a tactical standpoint, I mean, even just here, you've got a lot of mixed items on this particular dialogue. I have a choice of what I can hear, and I also have a choice to show lyrics or chords, and I also click track and countdown bars. And these are all different types of information, so perhaps giving them more of a guided tour through it. We don't have to put it all on the same page and just kind of walk them through it. It's a fairly straightforward app, so a few extra clicks is probably going to be more helpful to your end user.
I think the opportunity here is to focus potentially. A lot of startups want to hit all markets because you feel like that whatever your revenue stream is going to grow, but maybe you just focus on the newbies first and then maybe move into pro or vice versa. I'd say that this software is really early, so you're definitely going to need a software designer to really think through this, and starting mobile first. If you're going towards that audience, usually they probably have a phone before they would have an iPad, so making sure it works really well on the phone.
Along with what Jeremy said, this is a really great idea. I would love to see it work, but you've got two major components of those who have the technical capability of making this happen better than those who don't, just because they don't have the equipment. I would almost want to go with those who don't have the equipment and try to make the experience better for them. It would just make the experience better for everybody on the other side of that normal distribution.
And more along the same lines, I think just work with some of those low-end users that you're looking at and see what kind of makes what sense with them. Get a designer on board so that you can kind of walk through that flow. And I think if you can make it successful for them, you'll be able to make it successful for everyone as you add more rich functionality on.
Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We'd love to know what you think of the UX you just saw and the show itself, so drop us a comment below with your feedback, and we'll be back soon coming your way with more UX content. Until next time, peace.